J. Stevens, watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How am I sounding?
Is that as high as you can count?
Yeah.
That makes so perfect sense why you are a Motley Crue fan. You can only count up to 10. And you wore that shirt. I just realized it.
I did.
You dirty,
dirty
SOB.
Today.
We're going to use this as the intro. As soon as you start counting.
As soon as I started counting?
As soon as you start counting, that's where the intro is.
Okay.
We're recording, though, right?
We are recording.
And this is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 269.
69.
You got the 69 episode.
I know.
I
did. I forgot to tell
it.
Jay that he's going to miss the 69 episode.
Jay is currently on a cruise somewhere in the Bahamas right now. It almost did it. It is hilarious that I kind of cursed them because that was the night they left was the night of all those storms that we had. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I came in the studio. I was like, when's your flight leave? He's like, 5. And I was like, he goes, I was like, you don't have to be at port tomorrow, right? And he's like, oh, no. I was giving like a day of cushion, like always a day. I don't think they landed in Fort Lauderdale until literally like 24 plus hours later. It took them that long to get, they should have been in Fort Lauderdale.
I saw they had all the delays
and
all that stuff.
Horrible. So it's kind of my fault. So, but I don't really care because he's in the Bahamas for a week. So whatever, dude. So as we mentioned in the last week's episode, Tyler's filling in, and since Jay, for whatever reason, doesn't like real movies and just likes to watch documentaries and stuff, I don't know why. Any chance I get to do real movies and talk with them, especially a guy who likes movies and that's what he went to school for, I'm going to take that opportunity. So enter Mr. Tyler Lawson, or Magic Tyler as we like to call him. And over the last week, I gave him the assignment of watching the Akira Kurosawa film Seven Samurai, which really, you want to go straight. You want to go straight into?
I liked it.
Let's do that. Let's get your review first, because again, you got to understand this movie was made black and white, early. Like it's not like 100 years old, but it's not early. It's early cinema, and also all in Japanese, so you have to read subtitles or speak Japanese to understand it. Mm-hmm. And so as a white kid from middle Missouri in his early 20s, that's, never really heard about this before until I came in and said, you need to watch this as a filmmaker.
I've heard about the movie.
You heard of Kurosawa.
Never seen the movie. Story actually was not that hard to follow. Like pretty simple story. Farmers, there's bandits that are wanting to steal all their crops, and they hire a samurai who then recruits 6 more samurais to protect them, and all they can pay them is food. They have no money. All they can pay is food. I like that each samurai is completely different, personality-wise. I'm going to forget all their names. I'm not going to be able to remember.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen this movie 100 times, probably more. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you any of their names.
Right. But
I just could tell you what
their character is like.
The one that isn't really a samurai, but they give him a name.
That's kind of nuts.
The one that shaves his head at the beginning to save that baby.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that, but still, I get it. So it's okay. You're forgiven.
Yeah. My favorite character was probably, the one that was like not really a samurai.
The one that's walking around with the giant, giant sword.
I think so. Yeah, the guy that was like almost like the comedic relief of the movie, until you later realize he's got so much more depth than you realize.
That's part of the brilliance.
The bridge
of this.
between, because he's a samurai, but not really, because he's born a farmer. So he's that bridge between both of these groups of people.
Yep. But did you also get the underlining theme of how he, at one point, when they discover all of the samurai gear, and then they realize that the farmers are basically lying to them and using them to their ends. Mm-hmm. And to the samurai, they're doing this for honor. Mm-hmm. Some of them are doing it because they're crazy and they like the battle. Some of them are doing it because it's the honorable thing to do. Some of them are doing it for forgiveness and trying to correct the paths they're on. Some of them are just whatever. But the farmers have been finding Ronins and beating them up or killing them and taking their stuff to get more money, right?
Well, and you notice that they're all pretty scared of the samurai. Like, they have a different understanding of
of course,
samurais than what they actually come out to be, because they're scared for their women, for their daughters and all their wives when the idea of recruiting samurai is like first introduced to them.
Yeah.
By the old man.
Yeah.
They're all freaked out by it. They're like, that's ridiculous. They're gonna attack our wives, and none of them really any do that.
Except for the one that essentially falls in love with
the girl.
Yeah, which we'll get into it. I am so tickled pink, Magic Tyler, that you enjoyed this movie, and we'll talk more about it. Seven Samurai, a real movie you should watch. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Game.
Dark Side of the Stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens, watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Magic Tyler, Mike the Intern, back in the studio. It's Dark Side of the Stream, episode 269. This week we did Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. Before we go back into, again, appreciate your review, and we'll talk more about that at the end. If you aren't familiar with Kurosawa as a director, he is responsible for probably all of the movies that you love. For example, if you love Westerns, right? Yojimbo is literally for a few dollars more and a fistful of dollars. Like that character, that guy, then the Ronin shows up into town. There's two sparring families. He gets involved, starts using them against each other to benefit himself, and then gets dragged into it. That's Yojimbo, right? Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven. And it's not scene for scene, but it literally is the same story, but instead of samurais, it's cowboys, right? So the reason I got into him was because I loved Westerns growing up. Thanks, Dad and Grandfather, for making me sit there and watch them over and over and over again as a child. But eventually they took hold. And then once I found out that there was influence from samurai, and I was like, samurai? There are samurai movies like this? And all I had to do is like read the subtitles. Let's check it out, right? And Seven Samurai was the first one I did. And even and you did a really good job of picking up on some of the subtleties in the movie, because I don't really like when you explain, it's pretty simple to get. That's true, but there are so many like underlining things and themes, societal situations, talking about the militarization of like that society in Japan, the Edo period, the farmers, the peasants, the hierarchy, honor, and then like back to the old man. Like when he tells him to get like 3 samurai, and he comes back and he goes, "We messed up, we got 7," and he goes, "Well, I would have told you 15 or something like that, because you guys are idiots and you don't do it right." Like there are so many little things in that I just as I get older and I watch this movie, those are becoming my favorite parts of the film. But another one that he is responsible for is Star Wars. And Lucas specifically was a massive, massive Kurosawa film. So much so that like Ron and a couple others in the 80s and stuff, like his final pictures were all funded by Lucas and Spielberg and all those dudes, because they were all massive fans of his. The movie that is basically Star Wars is ripped off from is called Hidden Fortress. And it is such a cool... It literally has like a C-3PO and R2-D2 character who are these like peasant guys that were like, they keep switching sides and whatever. A strong female character who essentially has to find it in herself to lead, and all this stuff. But it's samurai. You know what I mean? Now let me ask you, as a young man, you don't read a lot, right?
Not like a crazy.
You're not like me, like you like reading all the time. You're not reading a book right now.
No.
Which that's fine. Some people do, some people don't. But the subtitle part of this, that didn't bother you, right?
No, which I thought I was going to have a harder time, but it was pretty easy because I use subtitles anyways for everything I watch, for everything else.
Everything I have I have the subtitle thing on all the time.
Everything.
All the time.
Just because I think for one thing it helps me be a better reader, reading it.
Yeah.
And hearing it. But yeah, it wasn't really that difficult for me. I noticed that if I looked away for a small period of time, I would look back and then I would be a little lost on what just happened.
So I'm going with this is we're just basically finding out here without him here that Jay is a bad listener.
That's maybe what it is.
Horrible listener. And he can't really read too well either, but like he likes to just kind of exist, and he can be like pick up on the crazy, she cheated on the man with the mailman stuff, and then that's it. No depth there.
Well, even like the last movie you guys did, he was talking about
Men at Work.
Yeah, he would be working. He couldn't like sit down and actually watch it. He had to be, and I imagine that's what he does during documentaries as well.
Oh, of course. He's playing poker, or he's making a AI video of him flying spaceships.
If he can hear it and understand it, I guess he can.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's crazy. But we can remind him when he comes back from vacation and tell him, hey, you're not a good listener.
It's really not that hard.
It's you heard it here first. Magic Tyler, it's really not that hard to read. We'll be back more Dark Side of the Stream next on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark Side of the Stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Magic Tyler in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 269. We are doing Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, which during the making, if I understand it, they ran out of money. Like they were halfway through. I think the screenplay only took 6 weeks. Can you imagine a movie like this? Two dudes write the screenplay, the entire film in 6 weeks. And you look at guys like the Duffer Brothers for Stranger Things. It took them 6 years.
6 years
to do 8 episodes that are essentially just a really long movie.
Yeah,
it's hilarious to me. Now a lot of that time I'm sure was in production, but they were using AI, and these two dudes weren't. Just tells you what they used to be able to do. But the company that came through in the end was Toho, which is responsible for Studio Ghibli. And I believe some of the Godzilla movies, too, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they really made their big money in. But, what'd you think about the music? Did you like the soundtrack kind of at all?
Yeah. I bet if I do some research on it, there's probably... I noticed the music was different for each kind of class of people. So you had your samurai music, and then you had your farmer music, and then you had the bad guys. What would you call them? Bandit people.
The bandits,
yes. Yeah. Each unique, kind of their own themes. And I imagine, again, if I listen to it again, each samurai probably has something different.
I think, again, I hope this has got you to like watch more of these. Like you really should go. I want
to watch Hidden Fortress.
You need to watch
as much as a huge Star Wars fan.
There's so many cool scenes, and I know that this all came because in January every year, I do this thing called Kurosawa Fest, and it's stupid, and it's kind of like when everything's dark and cold and depressing, I'm like, let's lean into it. And so watching black and white Japanese films from the 50s, for some reason, to me, aids that. Mm-hmm. But it does, man. And especially when I was little, I used to do it all the time. I used to watch almost all of them. But now I probably stick to like the 4 or 5 that I really, really like. The one he did before this one is called Ikiru, which is Life. And it's one of the most beautiful movies. It's not a samurai movie at all. It's just about the main character is the first samurai you meet in this one, the old man who cuts his hair. Which, by the way, is a big deal. Like samurai hair is it's like this thing. It's a level of stature, and basically the reason the villagers go after him is because he's willing to just completely wipe that away to go save the life of a child, right? And they're like, well, if he's willing to do that while these other guys wouldn't even look at us, he'll help us, and that ends up being the thing. But Ikiru is like he works in a government office, and it's essentially like, what do you want to do with your life after you've spent your whole life doing nothing? Mm-hmm. And he kind of figures it out, and it's just so beautiful. It's hauntingly beautiful and very, very sad at the same time. But that one, unless you want to cry yourself. He also did Throne of Blood, which is a retelling of Macbeth through samurai. So if you're familiar with, and it's not like Macbeth, like, you know, Shakespeare talk, which is almost as difficult as trying to understand Japanese. It's a samurai movie, but told through the lens of Macbeth. It's just all over your head now. Might just go way too far.
I don't know if I don't think I've seen any of these.
Do you know
movies.
Macbeth? Do you know what Shakespeare is?
Yes.
Okay.
I know about.
Do you know what Macbeth is?
I couldn't tell you what it's about.
I like to take a moment and figure out what it is the United States of America education system is actually doing, especially when we got a kid here who literally just got through it and is in the business that I'm in, and also even further into film that I ever went. And the idea of storytelling, Shakespeare and Macbeth, you don't even know what Macbeth is.
I mean, I don't think, we talked about Shakespeare, but I don't know if we really went in depth with that one. I mean, I'm sure they talked about it briefly. I mean, it was more, I'll tell you, like, Romeo and Juliet was, like, the only one I really remember them spending, like, a week or two on. Like, we had to really study.
Everyone knows Romeo and Juliet.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a good story.
It's a good story.
Macbeth is better. Macbeth is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. I was trying to set this up to use it against you for your taste in music, but it is subjective after all. But like I said, higher IQ, lower IQ. That's not so subjective. But when we come back, we'll see how many stars Tyler gives Seven Samurai, and if I can actually talk him into watching more than just Hidden Fortress next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark Side of the Stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the...
Tyler. Magic Tyler.
Tyler Stevens.
Dark Side of the Stream.
Keep it. It's Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. One thing, now that I messed that up and called you Jay, I do want to bring up, if he had watched it, okay? Because I was going to ask you, this is one thing I wanted to ask you. What would be the one thing you think he would point out in the film?
I mean,
He actually got him to focus, sit down, and figure it out. It took him 5 watches.
I think his favorite samurai would be what mine is.
Yeah, well, of course. He's the wild and crazy guy. Yeah. No, but there's going to be one thing that he picks out. Like for example, Jean-Claude. When we watched Kickboxer and Bloodsport, you know the only thing he kept talking about? Jean-Claude Van Damme's physique.
That's what I'd say.
Legit.
The guy's body.
That he kept coming back to, man, he's good looking guy, man. Good looking dude, man. And then, I mean, he always does that. He pigeonholes onto one thing, and that's like the thing. And it's like, there's so much more to that than his physique. Yeah, he can do the splits. Good job. So what do you think it would be?
Probably that sometimes the clothes that they're wearing.
The bare butt samurai dudes. Thank you. You are smarter than I think sometimes. Yes, and perceptive, because there is a lot of bare ass in this film. That again is a part of what they wore when it's weird to think about it, but not really. If you want movement in your legs, you don't want no pants constricting you, man. Put a thong up that thing, put a shield on, and fight. And there's a lot of bare ass in this. A lot. And that's fine. It's all male. It is all male. It literally is all. I don't think there's one incidence of female nudity in this entire movie.
There's not a lot of females in the movie.
No, there's like 5 overall. But yeah, even less than that probably. So out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I'll give it a 4.5.
Beautiful.
One of the things I liked, that I'm curious if any other movies during this time was doing it, because it's done all the time now, is were there any movies that it was like a team up of people like that? Because like nowadays you have like the Ocean's movie where it's a bunch of people teaming up together to destroy. You have the Avengers
Mike,
movies.
was this the first?
Yeah, they're bringing all these different people with different stories and putting them together in a team, and they got to work together.
I mean, honestly, I don't. Because Magnificent Seven obviously is after this, so you didn't say that. Before this, I don't know.
Because like nowadays you have again the Ocean's
Because like
movies.
you could say The Great Escape, that's 60s. You could say, I mean, there was a lot. I'm trying to there
of just like team up, because I mean it's different people, different personalities. They have to come together, learn to work together to accomplish this goal. Was this one of the first movies of
has
that
to be,
kind?
But it also points. That's part of the story, though, too. You know what I mean? In just like reference to Ocean's 11. Every character in that movie has a special style, character arc,
right.
But what they bring to what the group is creates a bigger whole to what then they are by themselves. And the same can be said about this movie, but it's also a look at the type of samurai and hierarchy in what they would be in it for. You know what I mean? Do they serve their lord and that's it? Do they want to actually be honorable and do the right thing regardless? You know what I mean? I'm sure that's an existential question that any one of them ask themselves. So I don't know, man. I wouldn't be able to tell you unless I want to Google it, and we're out of time, so I can't. You got a whole week to figure it out.
One last thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ending of the movie? Like that last line where he says the farmers won.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah, because like I said, I told you exactly what I told you when they find the armor. When they find the armor, and Kimuchi or Kakuchi or whatever the hell they call him, he flips out, and for the first time, you're like, oh man, he was in this position, and he knows how bad they can be because he was one of them, and left it to try and better himself or whatever. He calls it out right there. And again, like I said, that's the beauty of in the brilliance of this movie, because there's so many of those things going on. And even though you look at these peasants like they can't help themselves, hell no, they can't. They're doing it right now. They scammed you out of bringing 6 of your friends here, and all but 2 of you leave. Not a lot of them died. Their farms are still standing. And they paid you. They paid you bowls of rice.
They're done with you right after.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he did it? It didn't matter to him because it was the honorable thing.
Yeah.
And that's what he was about, and he stayed true to that. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Straight 5-star for me. Did Jay and I even pick a movie for us to watch? I guess it's going to be a surprise next week. As always, watch us do this live on Facebook or YouTube, 9 a.m. on Thursdays. Download this as a podcast for free on our 104.7 The Cave app, or you can listen to me do it during the 9 o'clock hour, or Jay does it during the 6 o'clock hour during his show, or just ask Magic Tyler on the street, hey, do you have that copy of you guys talking about 7 Samurai? Either way, that's Magic Tyler. I'm Mike the Intern, and we watch movies.
Documentaries.
So you don't have to. It's Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.